Next video concerning Marietta SLOMKA, built upon the reconstruction, if apt, if only in parts apt, 90s party scene Cologne. What would you do there? You yourself would suggest. You were alluding to my life. And who else had you met to follow up onto that circle of halfway different groupings? You also would a Heinz A. Staubitz. He made himself adjacent to me again as early as 2007 or 2006, when he would be able indeed to give me a call into the UAE suggesting video camera. Thank you very much. That hint was not followed. There one even could go as far as drawing a connection to Nienburg Visa, to bank director's sons, and if only one, and to the very question were they maybe here for the first time asked, were there maybe being connected to there where other things were stemming from, cars. So how about following up lines of cars having been out-delivered in, let's say, the 80s from Wolfsburg? Why? Because that very Michael Germer, that would have chosen me as one in a row indeed he had. Also prior to me, but another brunette out of my streak, then formable into the Möbius ribbon, in which once in, you will fall out at one time or the other. Meaning you will never have been there, which is positive or very negative, because existences come therewith. So that one indeed was showing up with that very car, eluding the psychological. Why? Because that car, for certain Sonderausfertigung in terms of Lackspritzung, was the color was so astounding. The color was retelling me bronchitis slime. So, that one. Likely also acquaintances to there. The banking industry, then not yet having emerged. So, so what were you doing mid of 90s, following years in the Cologne party scene? As suggested, you would allude to other people's lives, as you yourself would show. You showed a photo on Google that I for certain will not search for. So either I get the help or I don't. But I have attempted, tried though. You were wearing on one photo a dress that I was reported to having been worn by a Nicole Steuer. That was, however, a private talk, and she would tell me anything about the mother of hers that would have sewn it to her. She would describe it, and it was the same cut. A cut that is self-sewn and not yet shop. So, meaning there was a kind of paralleled existence of which I for certain would have no clue, but the other way around very much so, and from the other side interfering or greeting or just reporting as if once in a while. Though I, from my perspective, having no idea, no clue of any existences that was begun to being led parallelly, in order to drag out a slot once in a while out of my life though, and if it just were allusion-wise to our photos in our photo albums in our house in Lower Saxony, of which I for years would have no clue about. Meaning, I would indeed be as the former, and I'm certain you know that woman as well. That woman I would address in another reel a couple of days ago. How was her name? Natalia Werner. Also a person that after her TV career, she needs another life. Yeah? She also would need another life that would enable her to live a same standard if she was able to have a certain standard that is a little bit luxurious even that, than €1,000 existence minimum that I get. So, and those two women would once in a while allude or be suggested even. The former justice minister that is totally unapt, and if it was only figure-wise, having been dragged out, presumably, out of an existing marriage, would I think it was even prior, when he himself was suggesting to do some changes on the very important StGB paragraph 211, there in the catalogue 2. I think indeed, if I recall it correctly, it was on the characteristics, then also the definition, the understanding of what do we think is heimtückisch. Yeah? What do we all think is heimtückisch? The government in Great Britain, though, they would also not be too stupid, have been not too stupid, having been participated, though, likely, possibly, not too far-fetched in the, if only listening-wise, excuse, shall I excuse myself, 2006 following UAE radio sender, that very radio sender that is being played in every car, excluding then, though, but one emirate, presumably. So, and they would sound it to BBC cameras the keyword lurking. Yeah, so if one lurks around the corner and the person that is being lurked upon would not have any clue and any idea, then this, according to the definition, tradition-wise understood, with some different understandings here and there, but no eruptive ones, one would define that as in German 211 2 StGB, there out of 3 possibilities of how murderous one can be, that it would be heimtückisch. So, I find that astounding yesterday when I saw the latest video streak of yours, and having already gotten an impression once in a while on TV, that would indeed allow me to suggest you were being interested, as I, the same time or later, how that then in the Lower Saxony Verfassungsschutz, by means of but one clothing piece of yours, that only few people know that one has been worn there. Not by me though. I myself wore jackets and jeans and high heels. This is how I would appear during that time. That of course was useless because my Arabic still is as if non-existent. Yeah, because spending 4 years' time in the Erfurter Homelessness Care Center, having there been stripped of my book, my Arabic German or the other way around book, and then having been put under the acquaintance though, so there was a human corpse beside, but that would speak only Russian. So it was completely useless. But the other one herself would build upon her career. the also likely disliking any dove-like appearances of mine. Don't you misunderstand me, you. So today I would arrive at the formulation, it's what I have been doing here and intend to still continue with, and would really invite people to pay me for, is specialized enforcement and indeed more common empowerment. The DAF Strafanzeigen, not the DAF, the Gaia, okay, the birds Strafanzeige of mine that I indeed filed with the Thuringian police would be one example. So one would cross out so one would just look into another animal apt law of Verordnung. So, what else would you be doing during your Cologne party time? You indeed would have begun then, from that standpoint, to learn only my life. Easily doable, because in my case there was MR1 following, and likely under the knowing that it was recorded, or she herself was reporting. Like the Friederike Lüthe, who would suggest a telephone protocol block. The other one would likely also report the later husband of hers, as if allowed, on no grounds, however, Article 1 already, problematic, not problematic, but completely counter. The Institute of Psychology, the formula tick out 10 euros I got. So there were already 3 people around that would report. The question is, did they know where to? And was it all delivered as a package, or was it subsequently being delivered? And you yourself indeed could allude to the Lower Saxony neighborhood of mine, and thereby you had one appearance during that assumed party time of yours, when you were when you were trying to make yourself look similar to that very most beautiful of us, Maren Köster. Later on, her life already was followed upon, likely because people here would invent the idea, let's embetter that incentive, let's embetter that, and not only place certain few chosen Krankenschwestern, nurses, into there and there, but let's maybe even professionalize and institutionalize that. That was my situation suggested. If real or not, I don't know. But that was at least a situation suggested when I would move into Erfurt 2, that like MR1, like like MR3, like MR1, was already telling by itself. Telling by itself by means of address names, by means of outward appearances, by means of Marburg 1 example, however, also the interior, which was partially already there. So,